Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. Today, we are coming to you live from Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School as the Hornets have their one of their final non-conference games of the season against the Crater Comets. Glad to be with you today. My name is Josh Eldridge. Henley enters play 8-1 on the season. Crater enters play 10-2. Each of these teams winners their last time out. For Henley, it was a win in their home opener against 3A South Umpqua. They won 10-0 and have won their last 7 consecutive ball games. For Crater, it was a win against North Eugene. That came yesterday. It was actually a split against the Highlanders. They won the nightcap 8-6, lost the opener 10-0 against North Eugene, but they wound up with a season series win 7-4 against the Highlanders earlier in the week. Crater actually already a couple of games into their Midwestern League schedule with a record of 3-1 there, 10-2 overall on the season. According to the latest coaches polls from around the state of Oregon, these are two of the very best teams around. Henley ranked number 1 in the 4A coaches poll that was released yesterday. Crater at number 2 in the 5A class. Undoubtedly a great battle ahead of us today in the Klamath Basin. We're going to step aside, and when we return, we'll take a deeper look at each of these two teams ahead of first pitch. We'll also introduce you to the Country Financial starting lineups just around the corner next on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Over the last year, you've heard and seen the advertisement for God's Gifts 2, a local photographer who travels to high school sporting events and takes individual and team action photos at a great price. Something you may not know, though, is that the money from God's Gifts Photography supports 6 children in Kenya who Annalisa has met on mission trips. If you'd like to capture your athlete in action and help support these kids, call 541-281-2206. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook.
And we welcome you back to beautiful Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School for today's Hornets baseball action. Henley entering play today with an 8-1 record. Like we said, winners their last time out. It was a run rule victory against the South Umpqua Lancers, 10-0. Before that, again, winners of their previous 7 games all told against St. Helens, Philomath, Astoria, Tillamook, Estacada, North Marion, and then, of course, South Umpqua. For Crater, their 10-2 record sees losses only against South Medford, a really quality 6A opponent, and North Eugene, one of the best 5A teams around. Otherwise, they've defeated Ridgeview, Sunset, and Corvallis, along with a series of teams from California, and again, winning that season series against North Eugene. These two teams did play once earlier this season. It was on March 16th, and it was at Crater High School, although that game was a jamboree, and so wasn't necessarily counting contributing towards their overall record. Today is the first time these two teams have played since 2024, a time when the Crater Comets came here to Henley High School and left with a loss. Henley defended home field 4-0 against the Crater Comets back on March 20th and hoping for a repeat of affairs today on Rosser Field. And as our conference at the plate is concluded, let's go ahead and introduce you to the Country Financial starting lineups. Today's starting lineups brought to you by Gary Sheen and Country Financial, the nation's #1 life insurance provider. Protect your family's assets today by calling 541-884-1700. Corbin Hamilton, the starting pitcher today for the Henley Hornets. He's going up against a Crater Comets lineup that goes like this. Leading off at third base is Mason Snopel. The second baseman, Morgan Austin, bats second, followed by Carson Nosey in center field. Alex Johnson, the pitcher, bats fourth, followed by Caleb Cornett, the shortstop, batting fifth. Hitting sixth is Zach Harrington, the first baseman. Jaden Mobley is in left field, batting seventh. Hitting eighth is Oren Ging, the catcher, and Ronix Kieser, the right fielder, is batting ninth. Our home plate umpire today, Cooper Roberts. It's a good day for baseball, if not a little bit windy today in the basin. 56 degrees as we approach first pitch today. Henley in their navy blue tops, white pants today, their typical home attire. For the Crater Comets today, decked out in all black. They've got black pants, black jerseys, Crater written across their chest in orange with a white trim. Hornets coached by Sean Teeters in his second season. Crater coached, of course, by Jay Campbell. This team with a couple of seniors, but a sophomore-heavy lineup. A couple of juniors mixed in there as well, but a lot of these guys, Ronix Kieser, a sophomore. You've also got Oren Ging, their catcher, a sophomore as well. And they're handing the ball to a senior today. They look to rely on a veteran to try to get back against a really good Henley lineup. Jacoby Tacchini, the other half of the battery today for Henley. We'll introduce you to the rest of the starting defense as the game goes along. But we are just about ready for first pitch today as Mason Snopel gets ready to set into that right-handed batter's box. Like we said today, Corbin Hamilton getting the start. It is his fifth start of the springtime. He carries a 3-1 record coming into play today. In 17 previous innings pitched, he's given up 7 hits, allowed 6 runs, although just 1 of them earned. He struck out 27 batters for a sub-.5 ERA. The first pitch of the game, he misses low and away. The count is ball 1. 3 minutes ahead of schedule today. Fairly typical here at Henley High School to get going just a couple minutes ahead of our scheduled start time. The count is 1-0 to Mason Snopel. He's going to call time. Snopel is a little bit familiar with Corbin Hamilton, and Snopel coming into this game, he is a senior, but again, these guys have done battle outside of the typical prep schedule. Snopel, a member of the Crater Legion team from last year, shared a league with the Klamath Falls Falcons, which of course Corbin Hamilton was a member. Here's the 1-0 pitch home to Snopel. That one is going to miss low and away, maybe a touch off the plate. 2-0 to Mason Snopel. The second baseman, Morgan Austin, is on deck for the Comets. Here comes Hamilton out of the windup with the 2-0. That one's able to find the outside corner of the plate just above the knees, and the count moves to 2 balls and a strike. Hamilton with the classic 4-seam, 2-seam fastball. He'll go with the changeup, but he really makes his money with that slider. Probably won't see it here in a 2-1 count. Instead, well, he does go breaking ball in a 2-1. I don't think Snopel expected it either. He watched a pitch go over the middle for strike 2. And so now Jacoby Tacchini offers the sign. Hamilton, working with 2 strikes, can go just about anywhere, even with a 2-ball count. He's very confident in these settings. Here's the 2-2 pitch, goes off speed, and Snopel fouls it off. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talked a little bit about that summer season for Mason Snopel and the Crater Comets Legion team, much like their prep team, always in contention. Played well at the state tournament last year, finished second in their league during the summer. Here's a ground ball back up the middle. That's going to get through and into center field. Mason Snopel sees Corbin Hamilton well in his first at-bat and singles up the middle. Puts a runner on first here with nobody out to lead off the ball game. So here's Morgan Austin, another guy, similar situation. Austin, a member of that summer league team, this year a senior for the Crater Comets. They're a team that, despite having a really good regular season last year, made an early exit from the playoffs. We'll talk about it more a little bit later on, but lost 5-4 against West Albany in the opening round. They're coming back for vengeance this season, and, well, like I said, they've started out on the right foot, a 10-2 record, and so far ranked second in the 5A coaches poll. They check on Snopel at first, nothing going. Now Hamilton ready to deliver the first pitch home to Morgan Austin. He shows bunt. A breaking pitch misses high and in. And it's going to be ball one. Austin had to dive out of the way of that one. Snopel stays put at first base. Hamilton looking in, but not before checking on the runner at first. Snopel with about a 5-step lead. Takes another half step as Hamilton comes set. Takini sets up the target outside. He's showing bunt again at the plate, but this time as he pulls back, it's called a strike. Count is even at 1-1 to the senior Morgan Austin. Carson Nose is on deck for the Comets. Middle infield of Shively and Sims cheating a little bit to try to turn a double play. Start at third base today is Derek Cox. Ian Meyer over at first. In the outfield from left to right for Henley, it's Chase Barrett, Ryan Douglas, and Porter Frost. Hamilton taking a check over on Snopel at first. And now motions home for the 1-1. That one's flared over the head of the first baseman Meyer down into right field. A big turnaround second for Snopel. They're going to hold him up at third. And back-to-back base hits to start the ball game puts runners at the corners for the three-hitter Carson Nose. Nose hitting third in the order for the Comets. A freshman, though, the only freshman on this Comets team. And again, not to sound like a broken record, but he was also a member of the Comets Summer League team, which is impressive considering he was only an 8th grader when he made that team. And now very well prepared for a high school season in front of him. Kind of reminds you of a little bit about what Jacoby Takini did a couple seasons ago when he was just an 8th grader and started up on that Falcons team, and now one of the very best players in our league in the Skyline Conference. The first pitch home to Nose is fouled off. The count is 0-1. But I've always been a proponent of the only way to get better is to play people who are better than you. And, well, these guys who come up and challenge themselves after their 8th grade season, it typically pays off for them as they move throughout their high school career. Hamilton readies with the 0-1, runners at the corners and nobody out. The pitch in is a line drive caught by the first baseman. Myrie takes it to the bag, and a 3 unassisted double play changes the complexion of this inning. 2 gone, runner remains at third, but now in steps the pitcher, Alex Johnson. It's a hard hit ball by Carson Nose, but right into the glove of Ian Meyer. And he takes it himself for the double play. Now the left-handed hitting Alex Johnson's going to still have a chance to drive in the opening run of the ball game. Still at third is Mason Snopel. The first pitch in is an upstairs fastball, misses maybe outside as well. Count is 1-0. Johnson and then Caleb Cornett waits on deck for the Comets. Runner at third is Snopel. Again, a leadoff single got him there. He moved over to third on the Austin single. Here's the 1-0 home to Johnson. That one misses in. Tried to jam the lefty with the fastball, but it's not going to go. Count 2-0 to Johnson. Takini giving the signal. Hamilton working now out of the windup with a runner at third. The pitch, the curveball dropped in nicely for a strike. Count 2-1. Going a little bit front door with that breaking ball, starting off the plate to the left-handed hitter and then breaking back over the strike zone. Sometimes those can be dangerous, but if you work them in early in the game, you can get hitters looking at them like Hamilton just did there. There's a fastball ripped into center field. Going back is the center fielder Douglas. He won't have a play on it. That's going to bang up against the wall. Coming in to score is Mason Snopel. In its second standing is Alex Johnson. And an RBI double gives the Comets a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning. That'll bring up Caleb Cornett, the starting shortstop for the Comets, as they're going to let Johnson continue to run out there. Sometimes you'll see a courtesy runner in for the pitcher like that, but not in this case. They want him out on the base paths. He's in scoring position now for the left-handed hitting Caleb Cornett. He's got the hoodie on under his jersey. He's got the base running mitt in his back pocket. He's got the full kit of the modern high school baseball player. First pitch down low, misses below the knees. Count 1-0. Connor Shively tasked with trying to keep Johnson honest at second, not holding him too tightly, but allowing Hamilton to take a look back there if he chooses. There's Corbin taking a peek and motioning home with the 1-0 pitch. Swing on and missed. Count is even now at a ball and a strike. 2 outs in the top of the first inning, and it's a 1-0 Crater lead here at Rosser Field. Hamilton comes together for the 1-1 pitch. Looks in, a high leg kick, emotions home, off-speed pitch, ground ball to the right side. Backhanded by Meyer at first, underhand dish to Hamilton, gets there in time. 3-1 on the putout, and that will end the inning. 3 hits for the Comets in the first leads to 1 run. They leave a man stranded, and they lead 1-0 with the bottom of the first half next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Josh Eldridge welcoming you back to Henley Baseball today on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com. The Hornets facing a 1-run deficit as they get set for their first at-bats of the ball game. They're going up against the right-hander from Crater High School, Alex Johnson. The Henley starting lineup presented by Country Financial goes like this. Leading off at second base is Carson Sims. Connor Shively, the shortstop, bats second, followed by Jacoby Takini, the catcher, batting third. Hitting fifth is Ian Meyer at first base. The designated hitter, Max Price, bats fifth. Hitting sixth is Derek Cox, the third baseman, followed by Corbin Hamilton, the pitcher, batting seventh. Chase Barrett's in left field, hitting eighth, and rounding out the Henley order is Ryan Douglas in center field. They're going to, again, try to get that 1 run back they gave up in the top half of the inning, and they will start with, of course, the leadoff hitter, Carson Sims. Henley as a team, good start to the season offensively. Batting .314 as a unit. Coming into play today, and Sims second most on the team in batting, .433 entering play today. Here's the number that jumps out to me, though, even more than the batting average. It's the on-base percentage at 50%. That's what you need in a situation where you need a run, is just to get the leadoff man on base. And Sims will take a look at a fastball that misses upstairs to get ahead 1-0. The second pitch meets the same fate, an upstairs fastball, 2-0. The 2-0 swung underneath and missed. Sims still ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. A hitter who doesn't often let too much rattle him up there at the plate, even as he starts to fall behind in the count there. He fouls off the high fastball, 2-2. But a guy who does not strike out a ton. He widens out that batting stance with 2 strikes. He's going to try to fight a couple off here against Alex Johnson. The pitch in. Curveball grounded towards the left side of the infield. The shortstop Cornett is up with it. Strong throw to first is not in time, and Sims legs out the infield single. Good hustle there for the junior, and the Hornets have a leadoff base runner at the bottom of the first inning. Shively, Connor Shively, batting second here in the lineup for the Hornets, getting the nod at shortstop today, is position which he's called home the last couple of seasons for Henley, but a versatile player to say the least. where you really love Shively is in these spots. Runner on and nobody out. The lefty is going to take an offering at the first pitch he sees. Two-hopper out to second base. Austin on to Cornette for one. The back end is there. A 4-6-3 double play, and they roll up Shively. Two gone. Bases empty here in the bottom of the first inning. Jacoby Tacchini getting ready to step in now for the Hornets. Tacchini batting .259 entering the season today. Trying to get a little two-out rally here started for Henley, who finds themselves down a run here early. The pitch in home to Tacchini. An off-speed pitch, a looping breaking ball crosses dead center. The count is 0-1. Johnson works quickly out there already with the 0-1 pitch. Tacchini fights it off foul. The count is 0-2. Jacoby settles back in, tall in the right-handed batter's box, awaits the delivery from Johnson. That one missed upstairs, 1-2. The catcher for the Comets is Oren Ging. The third baseman, Mason Snopel. Caleb Cornette at short, Mason Austin at second. Harrington at first. In the outfield from left to right, it's Mobley, Nosey, and Keyser. Jacoby Tacchini takes a pitch high and tight. Wanted to offer up at that upstairs fastball, and it oftentimes looks so good. But wise of him to lay off and extend the count. Now 2-2, 2 outs, bases empty for Tacchini. Fouls that one straight back. Count remains. Brick backstop here at Roster Field sometimes can come into play. That one was just a foul ball, but it ricocheted back hard towards the catcher. You pay attention to it when there's a pass ball or a wild pitch and a runner at third. Sometimes it can cut down a runner at third in those situations. Tacchini rips one into left center field. Down and in the gap, could be extra bases. Tacchini, big turnaround first. He's going to settle into second standing. And a two-out double for the Henley catcher keeps him in business in the bottom of the second inning. Or pardon me, the bottom of the first inning. Brings up Ian Meyer for the Hornets. And we're also going to have a courtesy runner come on in for Henley and for Tacchini. That is going to be Hunter Glidden out there on the base paths for the Hornets. Now Ian Meyer made a great play on the defensive end in the top half of the first. Now a chance to do it with the stick in the bottom half of the inning. He takes an off-speed pitch inside. Count is 1-0. Meyer on the season, batting .360. 7 RBI on the season. That's a good start to the spring for the senior. The 1-0 home. Meyer pops it up, but it's out of play, foul. Count is even at a ball and a strike. Glidden, by the way, out at second, taking a very aggressive lead out there. He backs off a little bit this time around as Austin, the second baseman, moves over to hold him, but he's just kind of creeping off the bag, about 7 steps off now. Here's the 1-1 in. Meyer hits it in the air to right field. Could be trouble. Keyser coming in. He's called off by the second baseman, Austin. He'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. The Hornets leave a man in scoring position. 2 base hits, but no runs. They trail heading into the second inning, 1-0. We'll be back with more Henley baseball next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Corbin Hamilton getting ready for the second inning of his start today. He finds himself down 1-0 against the Crater Comets as we get set for the top of the second inning. Due up this half for Crater, 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. That's Zach Harrington, Jaden Mobley, and Oren Ging. Harrington getting ready to settle in now. Pretty good contingent of Crater fans in attendance today off to my left side. Although that's to be expected with a team just over the hill in Jackson County as that first pitch is fouled off. The count is 0-1. Again, Crater last played here in 2024. It was a 4-0 loss to Henley at the time, but that being a couple years ago, quite a few of these current fans and parents, and in some cases coaches, have never quite yet been here to Henley High School as the 0-1 pitch misses low, 1-1. And the one comment that I heard as everyone was walking up that I always hear is how nice Rosser Field looks today and how great a shape the field is in as Hamilton drops in a nice breaking pitch on the 1-1, makes it a ball and 2 strikes. But that's typical. I think that Rosser Field stacks up as one of, if not the best fields in definitely Southern Oregon, maybe the whole state. The 1-2 pitch misses below the knees. The count is 2-2. Of course, Rosser Field bearing the name of Coach Marvin Rosser. You could still find him over there in the first base dugout, but he takes great care of this facility. The 2-2 pitch home from Hamilton. Breaking pitch misses high and in. The count's full. 3-2. Big pitch coming up to the leadoff hitter, Zach Harrington. Hamilton from the windup goes breaking ball. Harrington gives it a ride to left center field. That one's going to one-hop the wall. Harrington's going to wind up with a leadoff extra base hit in the top of the second inning, and that will bring up Jaden Mobley. Hit that one to one of the deeper parts of Rosser Field. Out to center field, it's 383. It's 350 to left center. I would probably say he hit that ball 330 feet or so. Pretty close to it after it one-hopped the wall out there. Maybe even further. 331 down the left field line, 325 down the right field line. Like I said, 383 to straightaway center here at Rosser Field. First pitch into Jaden Mobley is a firm fastball, catches the outer third. The count is 0-1 to the Crater left fielder. On deck is their catcher, Oren Ging. Hamilton comes set, working out of the stretch. Sims and Shively trying to keep the runner at second base honest. Here's a sharp grounder back towards the Crater dugout. Bounced foul to Mobley. The count is 0-2. Mobley, the senior, trying to knock in a little bit of an insurance run here for Crater in the top of the second inning. Hamilton set again. The 0-2 home. Swung on and missed. A big strikeout for Hamilton to get there. The first out in the second inning brings up Oren Ging. Hamilton's going to try to find that put-away pitch, not only throughout this inning, but the rest of the game. That's his first strikeout today, a guy who's typically known for being able to set batters down like that. Went with the fastball to do it in that at-bat, too, which is kind of the opposite of what we have seen so far in the game. Here's the first pitch in to Oren Ging. That one is a strike, knee-high, outer third of the plate. Count is 0-1 to the catcher, Oren Ging. Oren, a sophomore for the Comets. I believe he was a varsity player last season. Tall batting stance from the right side. The pitch in, off speed. Hamilton got him way out in front. The count is 0-2. Ronix Kieser is on deck for the Comets as they try to capitalize on the leadoff double. Zach Harrington still standing out there at second. One gone and an 0-2 count at the plate. Hamilton takes a long look at Harrington out at second before motioning home. He tries to get the hitter to chase with the upstairs fastball, but Ging lays off. Count a ball and 2 strikes. Not a bad idea to try to change the eye level there. He went low and away fastball, low curveball, then upstairs with the fastball there. You can go just about anywhere on a 1-2 pitch here. Hamilton delivers home, goes off speed and got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff double. Hamilton sets himself up to try to escape this jam as it brings up the number 9 hitter, Ronix Kieser. Kieser getting the start in right field today. Bat resting on his back shoulder as Hamilton comes set. Checks the runner and delivers home. Starts him out with a, I believe that might have been a circle change missed low there. The count is 1-0 to Ronix Keyser. Back to the top of the order next for the Comets. Mason Snopel is on deck. 1-0 pitch. Hamilton kicks and delivers. That one misses low, just below the knees, over the plate. Not a bad pitch. Count 2-0 to Keyser. See how long they let Hamilton work today. Pitch counts could become a factor as he starts to rack up those pitches. Wanted to set down these guys quicker. The only reason I say that is the Henley Hornets have another big non-conference game later on in the week when they travel up north to Junction City. Take on the Tigers, who they were ranked number 1 before Henley supplanted them in the latest coaches poll. 3-0 pitch on its way to Ronix Keyser. Hamilton looking for the strike zone, won't find it on the 3-0 pitch. And a 2-out walk issued to Ronix Keyser brings up Mason Snopel. Snopel singled and came around to score back in the first inning. As we take a check on the pitch count for Hamilton, right at 35. So again, he's starting to flirt with those numbers that you want to start to be conscious of. They are usually pretty good about managing that sort of thing. Craig Connor, the pitching coach for Henley. We'll see what they decide to do as this game moves along. They're certainly going to let him work against Mason Snopel. First pitch against Snopel is a fastball. Started off the outside part of the plate, but the two-seamer breaks back towards the right-handed hitting Snopel, and Hamilton uses it to get ahead 0-1. Runner at second is Zach Harrington. He led off this inning with a double, back-to-back strikeouts, but then Ronix Keyser walked. He's aboard at first. And an 0-1 pitch home to Mason Snopel. Misses outside. They try to pick the man at first. Oh, but they got him back. Keyser slid underneath the tag. Good play there by Jacoby Tacchini. Popped up. The tag applied by Meyer, but I think they got the call right. I think Keyser slid in just underneath the tag, and he is safe at first. All right, back at the plate in a 1-1 count to Mason Snopel. Here it is. That one bounces past Tacchini, off his glove and rolls to the backstop. That's going to allow everybody to advance the station. Harrington to third, Keyser to second. And the count is 2 balls and a strike to Mason Snopel. Morgan Austin on deck. Again, this is the part of the order that gave Hamilton trouble the first time through, and he's fallen behind Snopel here. Still an opportunity to leave these men stranded, though. A big 2-1 pitch on the way. Hamilton back able to work out of the windup now, but at the plate, Snopel's going to call time. Wants to reset things, dictate the pace of this at-bat. He gets ready to settle back in. Wind blowing a little bit here out towards left field. Here's the pitch in. Nice breaking pitch from Hamilton. Misses, I think, upstairs, maybe inside, but the count is 3-1. Hamilton's starting to feel a little bit squeezed out there in an inopportune time. He's going to have to come over the plate here in a 3-1 count. Although first base is open, you'd rather not have to face the middle of the order with guys on, as that pitch is fouled off and the count runs full. Infield playing back on the outfield cut of the grass. They want to be able to make the routine play to first on a hard ground ball in the infield. That's really the only play that needs to be made, with 2 outs in the inning and a full count at the plate to Mason Snopel. Here's the offering from Hamilton. Curveball, and that's ball 4. Misses up above the letters, maybe a touch outside, and that will load the bases for Morgan Austin. 2 walks this inning allowed by Corbin Hamilton, back-to-back walks for that matter, and for a guy who does not walk very many guys, that was walk number 9 issued on the season. Hamilton with the first offering to Morgan Austin. That pitch misses upstairs. The count 1-0. Austin 1 for 1 on the ball game so far today. He singled and then was a double play victim around that trip on the base pads in the first inning. Here he's ahead in the count, 1-0. Hamilton delivers the pitch, a firm fastball on the inside corner. The count is even, a ball and a strike to Austin. Carson Nose is on deck for the Comets. Bases loaded. Top of the second inning in a one-run ball game, and a big swing and a miss from Austin has him in a two-strike count. Mason Snopel aboard at first, Ronix Keyser at second, and Zach Harrington at third. 2 outs and a 1-2 count at the plate to Morgan Austin. Hamilton steps, kicks, fires, hard grounder to third. Derek Cox up with it. He's going to take it to his bag for the out. Force at any base, and Cox takes advantage, and the Hornets leave them loaded, and they maintain, only trailing by a single run as we head to the bottom of the second inning next on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Hornets trail the Crater Comets by a single run as we welcome you back to Rosser Field at Henley High School. It'll be Max Price, Derek Cox, and Corbin Hamilton due up to start the second inning. First pitch misses high and away to Price. Pardon me, the count is 1-0. Price, the designated hitter today. The Hornets would love to have him out there working in the field, but he's had a bit of a bug in his arm the last couple of games for Price, so he's just swinging the bat, but still valuable there for Henley as well so far in the season, batting .286. He's got 9 RBI, 8 runs scored on the season, and so far he's worked the most walks on the team and has got himself into a 3-0 count here. 3-0 pitch to Price. It's going to be Johnson dialing back the velocity a little bit to try to get one over and in the zone, and he does. The count now 3 balls and 1 strike to Price. The delivery in from Johnson probably would have been ball 4, but Price chased it up out of the zone. The count's now full. Going to have to be a little bit more defensive than he would like here. 3-2 pitch home to Price, swings through it for strike 3, 1 gone in the bottom of the second inning, and it brings up Derek Cox. Good job by the pitcher, Alex Johnson. He fell behind in the count 3-0, but didn't get rattled. Came back with 3 straight good pitches and got Price swinging on 3 straight pitches, and it brings up Derek Cox. Cox tall in the right-handed batter's box. A big swing and a fly ball to center field. Nose backpedaling. He will make the catch for the second out. And that will bring up Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton on the season, the team's leading hitter, batting .462 coming into play today. In 26 at-bats, he's got 12 hits. And so far, although we are just getting started, we're not even into league play yet, Hamilton leading the Skyline Conference in home runs. He's got a pair of them. Most recently, it was actually his last at-bat that he left the yard. It was a walk-off home run to trigger a Mercy Rule victory against South Umpquaws. He fights off the 1-0 pitch. Count is 1-1. That was back a week ago on Tuesday. Hamilton even in the count, a ball and a strike here. Chase Barrett on deck, hoping for a chance this inning. The 1-1 hit towards right center field. Right fielder Keyser over to his left a couple of steps. makes the catch, and the inning is over. The Hornets down in order in the second inning. They trail Crater 1-0 as we go to the third next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food.
For your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
And we welcome you back to Henley Baseball on 104.3, 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Just about set for the top of the third inning. Due up for the Crater Comets, who lead Henley 1-0. It is Carson Nose, Alex Johnson, and Caleb Cornett. That's 3, 4, and 5 in the order against Corbin Hamilton. Corbin gave up a run in the first, got himself into a bit of a jam in the second inning, gave up a leadoff extra base hit, wound up with the bases loaded and 2 outs, but was able to produce a ground out with the bases juiced to keep the deficit where it's at just a 1-0 ball game. Here's the pitch to Carson Nose. That one bounces to the plate. The count is 1-0. Nose 0 for 1 in the contest so far. He grounded into a double play, or actually flew out into a double play, pardon me. His last time up, it was a line drive to Ian Meyer with a runner on first. Meyer caught the ball and touched the base. 3 unassisted, double play. Hamilton evens the count at 1 apiece. Talked earlier about the Crater Comets and their history a season ago. It was Crater, who was one of the very best teams in 5A. Hold that thought as Nose lifts one into shallow right field. Carson Sims back a couple of steps to put that one away, and that will be the first out in the third inning. Like I said, last year, though, the Crater Comets won the Midwestern League, number 7 seed going into the state tournament, and they wound up losing to West Albany in the first round 5-4, and that's been kind of symptomatic of this Crater team the last a little over a half decade or so. As the first pitch to Alex Johnson is swung on and missed, the count is 0-1. Crater won the 5A state championship in 2018, but since then have yet to escape the first round of the playoffs. As that pitch finds the zone on the outside corner, the count is 0-2. I believe it was 4 times in the last, well, now 7 seasons that they were first-round exits. The 0-2 pitch in is going to miss outside. Count is 1-2. Johnson 1 for 1 today. Doubled in a run back in the first inning. Takini gives the signal, sets up outside for the 1-2. It's a slow roller out towards second. Sims charging up with it, makes the play to first in time. 4-3 in the book and 2 gone in the third. Caleb Cornett getting ready to step in now for the Comets. Cornett is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to third in the first inning, batting here from the left side. Now, Crater plays in a highly competitive league, but like I said, they've been able to make the postseason and have had pretty decently high seeds in each of these last few attempts. But those first-round exits can really start to add up. The first pitch misses outside 1-0. The Comets certainly wanted to make another run at that blue trophy like they did in 2018. After Cornett in the order, should he get aboard, it's Zach Carrington. Here's the pitch in. That one is going to miss in. Count 2 balls and no strikes to Caleb Cornett. Hamilton made quick work of the first two batters. Cornett working ahead of him here. The 2-0 pitch misses in. Count is 3-0. Crater dugout, rooting on their hitter at the plate. Sign of a good baseball team, no one's on the bench, I always say. 3-0 pitch in. That one is going to miss off the plate outside. A 4-pitch walk issued to Caleb Cornett. He was close around the zone on all 4 pitches. Good eye by Cornett, able to lay off all those pitches, and it brings up Zach Harrington. Harrington doubled his last time up. It was to lead off the second inning, but oh wait, before we get a chance there, Craig Connor up and out of the Henley dugout. As the entire Henley infield comes in here, we'll see if this is a change for the Henley Hornets with 2 outs in the third. Hamilton exits the game. We will see a pitching change. We'll catch you up on all the changes coming up here in just a moment. The Hornets trail the Crater Comets 1-0. There's a runner on first base, Caleb Cornett, and again 2 outs in the third. We'll be back in just a moment on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Want to welcome you back to Henley High School, the side of today's Hornets baseball game, as the Hornets trail the Crater Comets 1-0. We're in the top of the third inning. And the new pitcher on the hill for Henley, it'll be Hayden Poor. Hayden making his 6th appearance of the springtime. It's his 4th in relief. He carries a 1-0 record, does have 1 save on the season. Oh, this is not a save opportunity. In 11 1/3 innings pitched this season, Poor's given up 8 hits, 3 runs, although just 2 of them earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 15 batters. Good for an ERA of 1.24 so far on the season. Able to keep that sub-2 ERA intact. In fact, as a team, the Hornets sub-2 right now. 1.02 on the ERA so far this season for Henley. Poor's going to try to keep that runner at first, or at least keep him from scoring. Caleb Cornett aboard at first. Zach Harrington at the plate. The right-handed hitter is the first task for Hayden Poor out of the bullpen. First pitch from Poor is going to miss low. The count is 1-0. Only other change for Henley, Corbin Hamilton stays in the game. He goes out to right field to replace Porter Frost. 1-0 pitch coming in. That one sliced foul to right side. Count is even at a ball and a strike. So Hamilton will stay in the batting order. And the designated hitter, Max Price, who is hitting for the right fielder spot, will stay as the designated hitter. And Hayden Poor, at this point, not in the hitting order for Henley. The 1-1 on its way to Zach Harrington, but first, move over to first. Back safely is Caleb Cornett. 2 outs in the inning. It started out with a no-safe flyout. Johnson grounded out. After that walk, Corbin Hamilton exited the ball game, and now here's the first task for Poor out of the bullpen. The 1-1, it's a curve ball hit towards the left side. Shively dives for it, but it winds up in left field. Big turnaround second, headed for third is Cornett. He is in there safely, and the Comets executing the hit and run to perfection. They took Shively out of position and hit it right to where he was, and that's really exactly how you draw it up, to put runners at the corners for Jaden Mobley. 2-for-2 day now for Zach Harrington to go along with his double in the second. Adds a single there. Now Jaden Mobley trying to add that second run to the Crater total. So far today, Mobley 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning. Here, he's going to find some green out in the outfield and score a run. It's going to be a base hit into left. They're going to hold up Harrington at second. An RBI single for Mobley makes it 2-0 Crater in the top of the third. Oren Ging stepping in now for the Comets. He's 0 for 1 today as well with a strikeout. 2 quick outs in this inning, but a walk and back-to-back singles have netted the Comets a run. Poor looking in, getting the sign from Takini. And he comes set. The pitch in. A curveball is going to miss off the plate outside. Count is 1-0 to Oren Ging. That run that came in to score was the responsibility of Hamilton, by the way, so not quite counting against Hayden Poor just yet, although Zach Harrington aboard at second. Here's a sharply hit ball back up towards the middle. Sims dives for it, but it winds up at center field anyway. Trying to get the runner advancing to third, and they are able to apply the tag to Jaden Mobley. But a run does come in to score as Harrington touches home on the RBI single from Oren Ging that makes the score 3-0 Crater as we head to the bottom of the third inning on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Welcome back to Henley Baseball on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. The Hornets find themselves trailing the Crater Comets here in the bottom of the third, 3-0. Due up this half for Henley, it's 8, 9, and 1 in the order. That's Chase Barrett, Ryan Douglas, and Carson Sims. Hornets going to try to get something going against the right-handed thrower Alex Johnson. He's been good in the first 2 innings today. The Hornets put him in a little bit of hot water in the first, getting a couple runners on. But in the second, they were sat down in order with a strikeout, back-to-back flyouts. So it's up to the bottom part of the order to try to set the table for the top half. Chase Barrett going to take a look at strike one, about letter high over the heart of the plate, and he falls behind to Alex Johnson. The right-hander from Crater again works quickly out on the mound, already ready to throw as he misses outside with the breaking pitch. The count is even. I will say for Alex Johnson, I'm a fan of the purple glove. That's not something you always see out there. The 1-1 is going to come in high and tight and plunk Barrett. He'll get a nice little round of applause. The leadoff base runner for Henley to start the third inning as that brings up Ryan Douglas. For Chase Barrett, that's the first time he's been hit so far this season. So Ryan Douglas gets ready to step in now. Douglas batting .227 to start the season for Henley. Move over to first, back safely is Barrett. Douglas 2 singles, 2 doubles, and a triple to start the season. 6 runs scored is up near the top of the team. Here's the pitch in. That one's hit up in the air, right side. Could be playable. No, that's going to be out of play as Harrington watches it drift over the first base dugout. The count is 0-1 to Ryan Douglas. Again, the wind is blowing out a little bit towards left field. Temperature dropping It's 56 degrees here at first pitch, 52 right now. We'll probably see 50 by the time this one is concluded. Another move over to first. Back safely is Barrett. Chase, a guy who will run from time to time. 6 stolen bases, good for second on the team this early part of the season. Pop up behind the plate. Tough one for the catcher to make, and he's unable to do it. Snopel taking responsibility for that one. That's just a tough play for anyone to make, but that is probably Snopel's ball to call off and try to get his catcher out of the way. That's a near impossible play for the catcher, Ging, to make. They wind up kind of bumping into each other there, but I think all is good. And in doing so, that'll give Ryan Douglas another chance at this at-bat. He is in an 0-2 count, and there is a runner aboard at first.
Be smart.
After Douglas, back to the top of the Henley order, and Carson Sims, who waits on deck. Johnson looks in, gets the sign from Ging. Checks the runner at first. Quick pickoff move for the right-handed pitcher, but back safely is Barrett. Sometimes right-handed pitchers will just step off or make a leisurely move over to first. That was not what Johnson did. That was a quick snap play over to first. The 0-2, he's going to try it again. And he checks his runner at first over his back shoulder instead of his front shoulder, which you'll oftentimes see pitchers do. But he looks behind him to check on over at Barrett at first. Now delivers home, ripped down the left field line, but foul. Douglas just a touch out in front of that pitch. Want to let it get a little bit deeper in the zone and try to give it a ride. The Hornets still yet to get on the board so far today. They trail 3-0 against Crater here in the bottom of the third inning. Smaller lead off of first for Barrett, and a 2-strike count. The pitch home to Ryan Douglas. Johnson is going to check on him over at first again. Real worried about Barrett over at first. Like I said, he's a guy you probably should be worried about over there. Second on the team in steals, but in a 2-strike count, a 3-run lead, you'd think Johnson would be going right after Douglas here. Here's the pitch in. Off-speed pitch, lifted into the air, right field, moving towards the foul line. Keyser running towards the foul line, is able to make the catch, and that'll be the first out in the third inning. Back to the top of the order now for the Hornets. Here's Carson Sims. He started things off with a leadoff single for Henley, but was turned into a double play when Connor Shively hit a ground ball to second base. Sims looking to get back on base here. Like I said, on base percentage up over 500. That's the number you're looking for right now when you're down by a handful. Johnson taking a look over at Barrett after coming set. Motions home. That pitch misses into Sims. Started up above his head. It was a curveball, so it broke in, but still missed in near his hands. Count is 1-0. Coach Sean Teeters down the third base side gives his signs to not only Sims, but also the runner Barrett at first. Sims a good contact hitter. You could see something going on the base paths with him at bat. The 1-0 pitch in. Sims is going to take an upstairs fastball. The count is 2-0. Again on deck after Carson is Connor Shively. Sims right now leading the team with hits after that one earlier today. 13 hits on the season. As he pops that one up, I think that's out of play foul. Looks like it's right behind us. Nice little impact, maybe 10 feet from me. Count is 2-1.
Be smart.
All right, Sims widens out a little bit in his batting stance here, keeps his hands low. The 2-1, move over to first again. And again, Barrett back in safely. At a 3.5, 4-step lead off of first again for Chase. Johnson set. Motions home for the 2-1. It's an off-speed pitch that misses outside. The catcher throws down, but again, Barrett back safely. Count is 3-1 to Carson Sims. Got a good hitter and a good hitter's count here. Sims can be picky in a 3-1. He's just going to watch one sail high and get on base. Brings the tying run to the plate in the person of Connor Shively with 1 out and 2 on in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Shively did ground out into a double play his last time up. He's 0 for 1 today. On the season, Shively bats .296. One of the very best pure contact hitters on this team. Even if the start to the season hasn't been as kind as he would like. I mean, .296 still a good average, but last season, Shively flirting with a .500 average. He'd like to see that average climb up to those highs again, although that's a tough number to achieve as he takes strike 1. He's got interest from a number of different collegiate schools, though I don't think Shively's made his decision yet. If he has, it'd be news to me. The 0-1 on its way to Shively. That one is bounced out towards second base. Up with it is Austin. 4-6-3. He is safe on the back end at first. Nearly doubled it up into a second double play. Sims is out on the fielder's choice. Shively safe. Advancing to third is Chase Barrett. Puts runners at the corners now with 2 outs. And Jacoby Tacchini at the dish. Got the Crater coach up and out of the dugout. I think he wants to make a case for the runner being out at first. Although I'm not sure what kind of case he would have. The umpire, we only got 2 umpires today, so we got to kind of make do. And, well, he was stationed out by second base. Got the second base out call for sure. It was a long look down at first, but Shively's a speedy base runner. And so it doesn't take much for me to believe that he beat the back end of that throw. He almost did it back in the first inning. This time he does so successfully. Keeps the inning alive. Again, Barrett at third, Shively at first, Jacoby Tacchini at the dish. He represents the tying run here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Jacoby on the season batting .259 for the Hornets. Here's the first pitch in. Curveball, lofted foul. I think Tacchini saw dollar signs with that pitch, took a big swing, but was just underneath, maybe a little bit out in front of that one too. Just got to square one up. The outfield shaded to the left. The left fielder Mobley played back towards the fence near the line. The center fielder Nosey shaded left, and the right fielder Keyser all kinds of room down the right side. Tacchini hits one into center field. That one is going to drop down in front of Nosey, and an RBI base hit as Chase Barrett comes in to score, and the Hornets on the board. They trail 3-1, bottom of the 3rd inning, and in steps Ian Meyer. For Tacchini this season, RBI number 7 for him. And here comes Ian Meyer. Meyer so far this game 0 for 1. He flew out to second base his first time up. That was to end the 1st inning. But the tying run aboard at first. Timeout called at the plate. Want to give you a score. We've got Klamath Union, their final against Lakeview, 3-0. The Pelicans able to find a win against the Honkers. Here's the 0-1 home. That one's fisted foul. See, is it count 0-1 or 0-2? 0-1, says our home plate umpire as Meyer settles back in. Stands tall in the right-handed batter's box, but he's got a big leg kick in his swing. Here's the 0-1. That one high and tight, hit up into the air, playable for the shortstop, Cornett. He'll glove that one for the final out, but the Hornets are able to push a run across on one base hit. They leave 2 stranded. They trail by a pair as we head to the top of the 4th inning next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
Over the last year, you've heard and seen the advertisement for God's Gifts 2, a local photographer who travels to high school sporting events and takes individual and team action photos at a great price. Something you may not know, though, is that the money from God's Gifts Photography supports 6 children in Kenya who Annalisa has met on mission trips. If you'd like to capture your athlete in action and help support these kids, call 541-281-2206. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
And we welcome you back to Hornets baseball on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Getting set now for the top of the third inning. Through 3, a 3-1 ball game in favor of the Crater Comets. It is 3 runs on 7 hits, no errors for Crater. So far in the ball game, they have left 4 runners on base. For Henley, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors for them. They've also left 3 runners on base. Getting set for this top of the 4th inning, it is Ronix Keyser, Mason Snopel, and Morgan Austin due up this half against Hayden Poor. His first 2 pitches miss low and in. The count is 2-0 to Ronix Keyser. Of course, Poor coming in relief of Corbin Hamilton. We'll be able to give you the final line score on Corbin here in just a moment. Base hit back up the middle is how Keyser gets things started in the top of the 4th. Comets with a leadoff base runner. Corbin Hamilton exits the game after 2 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, each of them earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. His pitch count right at 56. He threw 31 of those for strikes. Faced 14 batters. Now it's up to Hayden Poor to try to keep things where they are and see if he can't get his offense back up to the plate quickly. Although a leadoff base hit for Crater puts that already into a bit of jeopardy. Now back up to the top for Mason Snopel, but a move over to first. Ronix Keyser is back safe. Snopel has walked and singled today. He came around to score back in the first inning. Here he shows bunt, pushes one in front of the mound. Takini up and out of his stance, fires onto first in time for the out. But advancing to second was Ronix Keyser, so he's into scoring position. Out at first, and it brings up Morgan Austin. Good job by Jacoby Takini to get up out of his stance and get that ball that was just kind of dribbling down the third base side. Cox was coming in to charge on it, but I think Takini had the better play, was able to set his feet and make a strong throw to first in time for the out. Morgan Austin 1 for 2 today. He settles into the right-handed side. He singled in the first, and he grounded out in the second inning. Here he takes ball 1. Count is 1-0. Poor set once more. The second baseman Sims trying to keep the runner honest. Poor motions home in a 1-0 count. Goes slider, catches the corner. Count is 1-1. First of 3 games this week for Henley, the only one against Crater today. There's a doubleheader coming up on Friday. Hornets going to be on the road against Junction City. That pitch misses inside, 2-1. We'll be on the call for you on that one on the trip up to Junction City on Friday. Right here, wherever you found this one, you can find that one as well, either on the radio on 104.3 and 960 or on mybasin.com. 2-1 to Austin. Curveball hit into shallow right center field. Gonna be trouble. An attempt by Hamilton. He lays out for it. Not gonna get there. They try to get the lead runner at third. No one's gonna be able to make that play. And it'll wind up as a double for Morgan Austin, putting 2 runners in scoring position here with just 1 out. Dose 0 for 2 today. He grounded out and flew out in the first and third innings. Poor trying to work out of this jam. He finds himself in here. Leadoff single, ground out, but then that double. Hamilton gave a great effort for it, but it just kicked off his glove, and from there, it was easy enough for Austin to leg out a double. Now here's a fly ball into center field. Douglas moving over, gets underneath it, makes the catch, but tagging from third and to score is Ronix Keyser. Also advancing to third was Morgan Austin. A sacrifice fly and an RBI will give Crater a 4-1 lead. Runner at third, 2 outs for the pitcher, Alex Johnson. Johnson so far today, 1 for 2. He doubled in the first inning, knocked in a run in the first as well. He also grounded out in the third. The pitch home. That one's going to bounce to the plate. Takini, a fine job of keeping it in front of him. The count is 1-0. Caleb Cornett on deck after Johnson. A 4-1 ball game here in the top of the fourth inning. Takini's going to go out and have a quick chat with Hayden Poor. Gives us an opportunity to remind you today's broadcast brought to you in part by Geno's on East Main Street, as well as Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. Got so many great sponsors helping us cover this season of Henley baseball. Want to be able to thank all of them, but get a couple quick ones in there as Takini heads back behind the dish, ready for the 1-0 pitch. Curve ball in at the knees, strike call. That was a great pitch by Hayden Poor. Good frame job, I think, by Takini, helping himself out a little bit, too. That's somewhat of a lost art at the youth baseball level, but Jacoby does a great job of it. The 1-1 in, that one's going to miss low as well. 2-1, something that he's had to work on throughout his career. Again, I've seen him now play, 4 seasons? This is season 4. I've seen him going on, including the summer. And so he's caught a lot of games, and that skill set of softly framing those pitches, especially those low ones. If you can do it right, you can steal quite a few calls for your pitcher, but Hayden Poor not helping himself out too much here. He's missed in the dirt a couple pitches, falls behind 3-1 to Alex Johnson. First base is open if you want to face Caleb Cornett next. Pitch to Johnson, curveball, hard grounder to first. Meyer up with it. He's going to take it to the bag himself, and that will do it in the top of the fourth. But the Comets score 2 runs on 2 base hits. They leave a man stranded. They lead 4-1 as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
Looking for insurance from someone who truly understands rural Klamath? Meet Gabby Haskins, a licensed agent for Country Financial, born and raised in Merrill, with deep roots in agriculture and the local way of life. Whether you're protecting your family farm, homes, vehicles, businesses, Gabby's here to help. She offers trusted, personalized insurance for farm, life, home, auto, commercial, and retirement needs at Gary Sheen's Country Financial office in Merrill. Stop by today and see why Merrill residents trust one of their own. Country Financial, here to help you experience more in Merrill.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you're aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Bottom of the fourth inning, the Hornets find themselves down 3 runs. A score of 4-1 against the Crater Comets. Due up this half for Henley, 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Max Price, Derek Cox, and Corbin Hamilton going to try to get something of a rally started against Alex Johnson, who's pitched well through the first 3 innings. He did give up a run in the third, but the Hornets have only collected 3 hits against him. Price 0 for 1 today, a strikeout casualty back in the second inning. First pitch to him here, bounces to the plate. The count is 1-0. Talked about what's coming up next for Henley, Junction City on Friday. And then the Skyline Conference season starts on Tuesday. They're going to make the trip over to Phoenix, Culver Fields. That's a 5 o'clock first pitch on Tuesday before hosting the Pirates for a Friday doubleheader, not this weekend, but next weekend. As it's a 3-0 count now to Max Price, just trying to get on base here against Alex Johnson, stop him from working out of the windup and being comfortable. 3-0 home. Misses upstairs. Johnson none too pleased with that call, but a 4-pitch walk delivered to Max Price brings up Derek Cox. Cox 0 for 1 today as well. He flew out to center field back in the second inning. Going to see the corners come in a little bit here. Snopel at third. He's playing near the cut of the grass. Harrington's going to play in front of the runner once he's done holding him. Middle infield shaded for a double play. We'll see if anything's on for Henley here as Cox takes a look at strike one. The count 0-1. After Derek in the order, it's Corbin Hamilton. Outfield shaded a little bit towards the left for Derek. Center fielder playing to the left of second base. The 0-1 coming home to Derek is going to miss upstairs. Count is 1-1. Going back to looking at Henley's schedule coming up, that series next week against Phoenix to kick off Skyline Conference play. That'll be a fun one. Phoenix, right along with Henley and Hidden Valley, all ranked top 10 in the latest 4A coaches poll. The 1-1 pitch, going to find the outside corner. Count is 1-2. I believe Hidden Valley filed in at number 7. Phoenix was number 8. Henley, of course, number 1. But formidable opponents all up and down the Skyline Conference. And even Klamath Union and Mazama, two schools that haven't quite been in contention for league titles as of late. They have started out the season, at least in non-league action, with pretty nice records as that pitch misses in 2-2. I mean, look at where the Skyline Conference stands today. Klamath Union 5-5, Mazama 5-6. Hidden Valley's got a game today, but entering play today, they're 6-2. Henley and Phoenix, they're at the top of the league as well. It's a good conference this year. The 2-2 pitch coming home to Derek Cox. That one is fisted. That's going to get down for a base hit into left field. And advancing to second is Max Price. 2 men on, nobody out for Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton 0 for 1 today. He flew out to right field back in the second inning, but a golden opportunity here as he represents the tying run at the plate in the bottom of this fourth inning. Hamilton leads the team in most offensive categories to this point in the year. .462 batting, second on the team in hits, but the most singles with 9. And he's also tied for the most runs scored as well, as that pitch misses 1-0 to Corbin Hamilton. Again, got the start on the mound, was finished after 2 2/3 innings, but then has moved out to right field to stay in the lineup for situations just like this. The 1-0 home to Hamilton, swung on and missed. A fastball elevated in the zone right down the middle. Those are the pitches Hamilton wants to hit, but just swung underneath it. Count is even at a ball and a strike. Max Price on second, Derek Cox aboard at first. Hamilton with the bat resting on his shoulder. The 1-1 home. That one's hit sharply back up the middle. The shortstop, a diving stop. Cornett touches the second base bag for 1, but Hamilton beats out the back end. A fielder's choice. Cox is out. Price advances to third, and Chase Barrett bats with 1 away and runners at the corners. Chase Barrett was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, but came around to score in the third inning. Look at a stat of a double play here, but get on base. The catcher, Oren Ging, comes out and gives some signals to his infield in the likelihood of a steal from Corbin Hamilton at first. They may send him just to get things in the infield moving. Henley known for their aggressiveness on the base paths. Here's the pitch in. That's going to be called a strike right around the letters across the plate to Chase Barrett. The count is 0-1. Barrett, a .375 hitter this season, but he works the count. He's able to get on base, a .500 on-base percentage. The 0-1 Johnson holds it for a moment, now motions home. Barrett comes up empty on the fastball. A throw down to second to try to get Hamilton in a rundown, but in the meantime, Price tries to swipe home, and they throw him out. Crater sniffed that one from a mile away. Austin cut down the throw, returned it home, and that is how you cut down a lead runner there for the Crater Comets. Advancing to second was Hamilton. He tried to get himself caught in a rundown. Again, Crater having none of it. Jace Barrett bats now still 0-2 count, now 2 outs. Still a runner in scoring position in Hamilton. Calling timeout at the plate is Barrett. Ryan Douglas on deck hoping for a chance this inning. There's 2 outs. 0-2 in from Johnson. Upstairs fastball got Barrett to chase, and that will retire the side. The Hornets get a couple base runners to lead off the inning, but can't do anything with it. They leave one stranded. They trail by 3 as we head to the top of the 5th next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Crater Comets lead the Henley Hornets 4-1 as we enter the top of the 5th inning today from beautiful Rosser Field at the campus of Henley High School. It is the middle of the Comets order due up here in the 5th, 5, 6, and 7. It's Caleb Cornett, Zach Harrington, and Jaden Mobley. Hayden Poor into his 3rd inning of relief out of the bullpen. First pitch swung on and missed by Cornett. The count is 0-1. Talked a little bit about what Henley's got coming up. Crater has got the rest of the week off, actually. They don't have another game until they visit Churchill on April 21st, as that pitch is going to miss low and away. The count is 2-0. Of course, they played, it's 1-1. Of course, the Comets did play yesterday, but got to go through Churchill, Thurston, Eagle Point, Ashland, Springfield. They, again, play in a good Midwestern league. 1-1, checked his swing, went around anyway. Ball and 2 strikes to Caleb Cornett, who's 0 for 1 today. He grounded out in the first, walked, and came around to score in the 3rd. Poor digging with the 1-2. Here it comes. That's looked at for strike 3. Rung him up. Cornett down looking for the first out in the 5th inning. That'll bring up Zach Harrington. He's had a very good day today for the Comets, getting the start at first base. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored. He singled in the 3rd, doubled in the 2nd. Now he bats with the bases empty and 1 gone in the 5th inning. Pitch in from Poor. Curveball misses upstairs. Count is 1-0. Jaden Mobley is on deck. That was a good pitch from Poor. You hear a few of the fans letting him know it too. 1-0 is going to miss down and in. The count is 2-0. We've got a handful of the softball players huddled up around, or I think the JV softball players potentially huddled up around the crowd mic we've got set up out here as that swung on and missed 2-1. I believe the Henley varsity team was playing Junction City earlier today, although I can't seem to find a final score on that. Here's the 2-1 on its way home. That one misses upstairs. The count is 3-1. Couple other scores we know of today. Again, Klamath Union baseball defeating Lakeview 3-0. Klamath Union softball adding another win. They defeated Lakeview 9-8. As we venture outside the basin, Hidden Valley picked up a win today. That was the score I was looking for earlier. They defeated Cottage Grove 8-1. Pitch coming in to Zach Harrington and a 2-strike count. Here it comes. That one is going to miss upstairs, and the count runs full now, 3-2. Game going on right now featuring Cross Point Christian and Lost River in Special District 6 in the 1A, 2A class. Get you an update after this 3-2 pitch. Bounce towards the right side. Sims a diving stop. Up with it and on to first in time. Flash in the leather for the second out in the 5th inning. Great diving play there by Sims. 2 gone in the 5th. Brings up Jaden Mobley. Mobley 1 for 2 today. He struck out in the 2nd, but singled in a run in the 3rd. Was going to say, Lost River hosting Cross Point Christian today. That game tied up at 5 right now. As strike in from Hayden Poor. Count is 0-1. They're in the top of the 7th inning, and they've got the bases loaded. That's a fun one. They're happening in Special District 6. We'll give you a final score when we can. Right now here at Henley High School, the count is 1-1 to Jaden Mobley. There's 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning, and the Comets lead the Hornets 4-1. The 1-1 pitch home from Poor. That one misses down and in. 2-1 the count. See if I can find one more score I'm curious about today. Give me just a moment. Probably find out for you after this 2-1 pitch coming up from Hayden Poor. That one finds the zone. Evens the count at 2. Want to leave the high school ranks for this one. Oregon Tech against Southern Oregon. Looks like the Lady Owls picked up a couple of wins against Southern earlier today. That one's popped right back up. Look out. Okay. Still 2-2. Big wins for the Oregon Tech Lady Owls softball team against Southern Oregon earlier today. That gets them one step closer towards a league championship and hosting the Cascade Conference Championships at the beginning of May, which is always a lot of fun when they're able to do that here. Here's a 2-2 pitch coming up to Jaden Mobley. Hayden Poor with the delivery, misses outside, 3-2. Tech baseball team won, I believe, 3 out of 4 games against Corbin in their weekend set, and so they're hanging on to that final spot into the conference tournament as well. 5 teams make the conference tournament there. The 3-2 pitch in. Hold that thought as down swinging goes Jaden Mobley. Poor sets down the Comets in order in the 5th inning, and we go to the bottom half next in a 4-1 ball game. Back after this on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides, and or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Getting set for the the bottom of the 5th inning here from Henley High School as they trail the Crater Comets 4-1. Due up this half for Henley, it is Ryan Douglas, Carson Sims, and Connor Shively. That's 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Hornets got off to a good start in the 4th, but were unable to score any runs. Their lone run of the game so far came back in the 3rd inning when they were able to string together a couple walks, had 1 base hit in that inning, but they were able to make it count. First pitch from Alex Johnson finds the outside corner just below the letters in the zone against Ryan Douglas. He falls behind in the count 0-1. Pitch to Douglas. Swung on and missed on the breaking pitch. The count is 0-2. Douglas 0 for 1 in the ball game so far today. He flew out to right field. Johnson looking in. Steps, kicks, and fires. Goes upstairs with the heater. Tried to get Douglas to chase, but he's not going to offer at that one. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. Douglas on the season batting .227. Here's the 1-2. Curve ball misses just in. Good pitch by Johnson. Tried to go front door with him there, but not able to find it. Count is 2-2. Outside fastball misses. Good job here by Ryan Douglas after falling behind in the count to work it full. Again, a leadoff base runner here out of the number 9 hole would go such a long way when you talk about the top 3-4 guys in the Henley order. 3-2 pitch, misses up and away. Big leadoff walk there for Ryan Douglas, puts him on to lead off the 5th inning. Carson Sims stepping in now. He's reached first both times today. Once on a single in the first, once on a walk in the third. Also made a great defensive play earlier in the ball game, a diving stop out at second and a put out at first. But has done a little bit of everything today for Henley. Now he's trying to keep a rally going for the Hornets. Here he sends a towering fly ball to left field. Should be playable. It's actually called off by the center fielder, Nose, for the first out. 1 gone in the 5th inning. Connor Shively stepping in now for Henley. Shively 0 for 2 today. Grounded out into a double play in the first inning. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third, but was ultimately left stranded at second base in that inning. The left-handed batter for Henley awaits the offering from Alex Johnson. Taking a long look at Douglas over at first and then offers home. Shively hits that one foul. Count is 0-1. After Shively in the order, Jacoby Takini waits on deck for Henley. You'd love to have him up with a couple of runners on. Shively just getting on base here. That's the goal. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball towards the right side. Harrington onto second for 1. Back to first, and Shively beats out the back end. So although Shively reaches base, Douglas is out on the fielder's choice, and that brings up Jacoby Takini with 1 on and 2 outs. Now we've got the Crater coach up out of the dugout again. This time the first baseman, Harrington, didn't actually catch the ball at first. I think they're asking about interference maybe on a potential slide from Douglas, although I didn't quite see the play. It was kind of blocked from the catcher who is standing up and the home plate umpire, so best not for me to judge. But I think that's what the discussion is about, is should someone be out anyway, but well, seems like it was a short discussion after all. Shively aboard at first. There's 2 outs and Jacoby Takini at the dish. A 4-1 ball game. Crater leads in the bottom of the 5th inning. Takini's had a strong day at the plate so far today. 2 for 2. Doubled in the first. Singled in a run in the third. Nearly got hit on the first pitch on this one. Spins out of the way. The count is 1-0. Aboard at first is Connor Shively. Ian Meyer waits on deck. Johnson not liking the first signal from Ging, now agreeable on the second one. Here's the 1-0 home. Goes with a fastball just above the knees, outside corner. Count even at a ball and a strike to Jacoby Takini. Small lead off of first for Shively, not much to speak of, although he's got the wheels to take a small lead and turn it into a heck of a lot more. The 1-1 in, Takini lifts one foul the opposite way, 1-2. Jacoby getting ready to settle back into the right-handed batter's box, adjust the batting gloves, tightens him up for the 2-strike count. You'll see him choke up on the bat a little bit too. Got to get defensive, protect the plate in a 2-strike count. Johnson trying to leave a runner stranded again, as that one is hit foul. Count is 1-2. The Hornets have left at least a runner on base in all but the second inning, and in that inning they went down in order. But a lot of runs have been left out there for Henley so far today, and of the 4 runners that they've left on, 3 of them have been in scoring position. The 1-2. Hit the opposite way again, foul to Keeney, staying alive in this at-bat. Again, small lead off of first for Shively, but all the attention on Jacoby Takini at the dish. In a 1-2 count, Shively on the move, ground ball to third. Snopel makes a nice play at third. Throw across the diamond is in time, and that will end the inning. The Hornets, no base hits, but they leave a man stranded. We head to the top of the 6th inning as they trail Crater 4-1 on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
We are through 5 innings today at Henley High School as the Hornets trail the Crater Comets 4-1. Through 5 innings for the team in front so far. 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. They've left 5 runners on base. For Henley today, 1 run on 4 hits. They've committed no errors. They have also left 5 runners on base. Due up this half inning for the Crater Comets, it is 8, 9, and 1 in the order. Oren Ging, Ronix Kieser, and Mason Snopel. As Hayden Poor continues to work out there for Henley, now into his 4th inning out of the bullpen. Here's a chopper to third. Derek Cox plays it on a hop, fires on over to first, and it's in time for the out. One gone in the inning, brings up Ronix Kieser. Kieser is 1 for 1 today. Walked in the 2nd, but he singled and would later score in the 4th inning. Pitch from Poor. That one is grounded towards second base. Takes an awkward hop on Shively and into center field. As that will put Kieser aboard and bring up Mason Snopel. Snopel is 1 for 2 today. He singled and scored in the 1st inning, walked in the 2nd, and then he grounded out in the 4th on a bunting situation. Now he bats with 1 gone and a runner aboard at first. Top of the 6th inning, and his team up by 3 runs. Any insurance at this point in the ball game goes a long way. The Hornets only got 6 outs to work with to try to make a comeback into this game. As Snopel tries for a bunt again, this time though he pulls back in time. The count is 1-0. Again, he laid down a bunt back in the 4th inning, but was out in doing so. Corner's going to come in. Middle infield going to try for a double play, but on a bunting situation, probably just take the sure thing at first and play with 2 outs. They're going to check on the runner at first. Meyer has to leave his feet to make sure that one didn't roll to the fence. Good job there by Ian. The count is still 1-0 after that pickoff attempt. Hayden Poor, by the way, about to throw pitch number 40. Here's the 1-0. It is called a strike. Count even. 1-1. Poor so far, 2 2/3 pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs. Back in the box now is Mason Snopel. Morgan Austin waiting on deck for Crater. 1-1 as pour comes set. He's going to make a move over to first again. Ronix Kieser back safely. Don't have stats for the Crater Comets, but Kieser looks like a pretty speedy guy. He's reached base 3 times today, so they've had to deal with him a few different times over there. There he goes, on the move. Fly ball left center field. Moving over is the center fielder Douglas. He'll make the catch. Comets try another hit and run, but this time the fly out negates it. Kieser will have to stay put at first. There's 2 outs for Morgan Austin. Austin today 2 for 3. He singled in the first, grounded out in the second, doubled in the fourth, and he was left stranded each time. Pitch into Austin, misses wide. I think that might have functioned as a pitch out there, as Kieser had been on the move on the previous pitch. Wanted to see if they'd try to move him over again, but nothing doing on that one. Could be in danger of doing it again, though. Poor's going to take a long look at Kieser over there at first. Motions home. This one's again hit out towards center field. Douglas over a few steps. That one winds up in his glove for the 3rd out. 1 base hit for the Comets in the 6th, but they leave him stranded. They still lead by 3, a score of 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th next on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Middle of the Henley order due up to try and get a rally started. They trailed the Crater Comets 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ian Meyer, Max Price, and Derek Cox due up against Alex Johnson. He's thrown very well to this point in the ballgame for the Comets as Meyer swings and misses at strike 1. Let's check in on the line score for one Alex Johnson, the right-hander for the Crater Comets so far today through 5 innings. Has given up 4 hits and 1 earned run. He's walked 3 and struck out 2. He's found himself in a couple of tough spots so far during the game, but has been able to work out of them pretty much every time. Meyer, though, leads things off in the 6th with a base hit to left field. That's exactly what the Hornets needed to start the 6th inning. Brings up Max Price. Price 0 for 1 today, struck out in the 2nd. He walked in the 4th. Was out trying to score in that 4th inning. Was caught effectively trying to steal home on that trip around the base paths. Pitch into Price, off speed. Misses, I think, upstairs. The count is 1-0. Runner at first is Meyer. Probably don't have to be too concerned with him trying to steal. A small lead off the bag as well. The 1-0 home to Price. That's going to be a fastball, catches the outside corner. 1-1, just about thigh high against Max Price there. Again, designated hitting today is Price. He'll probably be in that role for the foreseeable future with an elbow ailment, but his bat's still important to this lineup. They want him in spots like this. The 1-1, a great curveball from Johnson, dropped in for a strike. Count moves to 1-2. Price settles back in. Keeps his hands low in the stance. Chokes up on the bat for the 2-strike pitch. Lifts that one into the air, foul. First baseman Harrington runs out of room on the right side, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Johnson's working hard out there. Like I said, went over his line score a moment ago. Taking a look at his pitch count, this will be pitch number 80 for him in the ball game. The 1-2. That's going to be a foul ball. Price tried to duck out of the way of it, but didn't drop the bat. It's fouled off, and the count remains 1-2. Derek Cox waits on deck. Like to get him up with more than just one man on. Middle infield cheating for a double play. Here's the 1-2. It's a ground ball left side through the infield and into left. It'll advance Meyer to second base. Price aboard, and it brings up Derek Cox. Back-to-back singles have the Hornets in business in the 6th inning. Cox 1 for 2 today. He steps in, flew out in the 2nd inning, singled in the 4th. In a big spot here as he represents the tying run. The bottom of the 6th inning. Getting him on base with Corbin Hamilton on deck. Johnson set with the pitch. Here's the offering, fouled straight back. And the count's 0-1. I think that one hit square off the post. That's right next to us here. We adjusted the camera a little bit, but all is well. Count is 0-1 to Derek Cox. Derek, a great utility player. You can stick him just about anywhere in the infield or the outfield, but today getting the start at third. Here's the 0-1 to him. Curve ball dropped in for a ball. I think missed outside. Count 1-1. Derek this season batting .250, 4 RBI, 2 doubles on the year for Derek Cox. Johnson starting to slow down his pace a little bit earlier in the ball game, working quick, now taking his time. Here's the 1-1, hit hard, hit to left field. Mobley going back towards the wall, and it's gone! Derek Cox with a home run to tie the ball game at 4. The young man hits his first home run of his high school career and ties up this one in the bottom of the 6th inning. For all, nobody out in the 6th, and here comes Corbin Hamilton. Changing the game on one swing of the bat, one Derek Cox. Again, his first home run of his varsity career, and a great one, too. Big shot there. Now it's Hamilton. Hornets have a chance to play for a lead here for the rest of the inning as Hamilton takes a look at one that misses low. The count is 1-0. Now Johnson might start to feel like he's on an island out there. No one out to talk to him after giving up the dinger and giving up the lead. 1-0 finds the zone, 1-1. Again, up over 80 pitches to that right arm this earlier in the season. Could start to get a little weary. The Hornets going to try to take advantage as Hamilton on the fastball, but just underneath it. The count is 1-2 to the Henley now right fielder, Corbin Hamilton. The 1-2. Curve ball fouled off. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Hamilton chokes up a little bit for the 2-strike offering. Here it is. Swung on and missed. A high fastball sends Corbin packing for the first out in the 6th inning. It brings up Chase Barrett. Barrett was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. He came around to score in that inning. Otherwise, he struck out in the 4th inning. The pitch called a strike on the outer 3rd. The count is 0-1 to Chase Barrett. Batting .375 to start the year. Hasn't had a ton of opportunities yet on the season for Henley. He's played in all but 2 games, but coming into this one only had 8 at-bats. And so getting a lot of opportunities today. Like I said, 0 for 1 on today's ball game, but he did score a run. Right now in an 0-2 count against Alex Johnson. The pitch misses upstairs, 1-2. Ryan Douglas on deck for the Hornets. Hoping that Barrett can find a way on base here. The 1-2. That one misses in, 2-2. Barrett again back in, trying to stay alive in this 2-2 count. Here it comes. Misses up and away. Great take there by Chase Barrett. A good eye to lay off a pitch that was right on the borderline of an up and away fastball. 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. Misses upstairs and a walk. And a base runner for Henley. Go ahead run on base. Bottom of the 6th inning. Here's Ryan Douglas. Infield coming in for Crater. They're going to have a quick discussion. Excluding the catcher, at least at this point. Want to remind you today's broadcast on mybasin.com. Brought to you in part by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. Also want to give a shout out to Klamath Falls Subaru, who through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. All right, conference on the mound has concluded. Ryan Douglas stepping in now. The runner aboard at first and 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning of a tied ball game, 4-all between the Hornets and the Comets. Pitch to Douglas. Misses low. Count is 1-0 to Douglas. He flew out in the 3rd. He walked and was out on the base paths in the 5th. He's the number 9 hitter in the order, so we're back to the top next with Carson Sims waiting on deck. Set with the 1-0 is Alex Johnson. Takes a look at the runner at first and now motions home. The pitch misses upstairs, 2-0. And after that miss high, I immediately looked over the dugout, and there I find Coach coming on out to chat with his pitcher. And it looks like we are probably going to see a change for the Comets, would be my guess, even though this is the middle of the at-bat. Let's see. Oh, Coach's hands are in his pockets. Johnson at this point staying in the game gives us another opportunity to remind you about some of our great sponsors like Sage Credit Union. They know that picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. So whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Sage Credit Union can help you reach your goals. Also, Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty. They know that little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home. Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty's exclusive Beyond the Sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty today. Conference on the Hill still going on. We'll try to check in on a final score for you between Cross Point Christian and Lost River. Last we checked, they were tied at 5 in the top of the 7th. They are still tied at 5, and now they're in the top of the 9th. Extra innings in Merrill today between the Lost River Raiders and the Cross Point Christian Warriors. All right, 2-0 count. Johnson still on the mound. Ryan Douglas at the plate. Runner aboard at first is Chase Barrett. The Hornets have already plated 3 runs in this inning. Here's a fly ball shallow left. Could be tough to get to. The shortstop gives an effort. Cornett dives for it, but it's into no man's land for a base hit. Barrett to second. Douglas aboard at first with a single, and back to the top for Carson Sims. Go-ahead run in scoring position. Hornets have left a number of runners in scoring position today, but this is a golden opportunity to push that go-ahead run across. Carson Sims today 1 for 2. The first pitch to him is hit high, deep to left field, carrying but bending foul. And the count will be 0-1. Sims singled in the first, walked in the third, and flew out in the fifth. Sims bats .433 this season. I've been talking all game about his on-base percentage. This is a point where you want him to put a ball in play. You don't just need him to get on base. That go-ahead run in scoring position, you'd love to have him shoot a ball into the gap and maybe take a multi-run advantage with the speed and Douglas you've got over at first. Sims takes a look at a curveball that's knee-high on the outside corner. Counts now 0-2 to Sims. Connor Shively is on deck. Sims widens his stride in an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch, curveball, ground ball, left side. Up within his corner, it's through his legs, into the outfield. Rounded third, headed for home is Barrett. He will score, and the Hornets have a 5-4 lead. Carson Sims, you put the ball in play, good things happen. A run scores on an error, and the Hornets are in front. He'll advance to second as well. They'll put Douglas at third, and the Hornets lead 5-4. Connor Shively, a chance to add on some more with two men in scoring position. Shively 0 for 3 today. He's hit 3 ground balls that have remained in the infield. He's reached on fielder's choices twice and grounded into a double play once as he takes that pitch outside 1-0. The good news here is you can't ground into a double play in the traditional sense. Although the infield is playing in a hard-hit ground ball, they could try to cut down the lead runner, Douglas, at third. Shively lifts one into the air, foul territory. That is out of play. Count is 1-1. Grounded into a double play in the first. Again, reached on fielder's choices in the third and fifth. Both of those lined up to be double play balls as well that Shively beat out the back end of. But a base hit into the outfield could very well score 2 runs. Johnson working out of the windup. The 1-1 to Shively. Curveball misses out, 2-1. And again, Johnson starting to show small signs of fatigue like that one. Not get enough break on that breaking pitch. He's missed a couple fastballs high. Here's the 2-1 to Shively. That one nearly came in and got him. 3-1, the count to Connor now. Jacoby Tacchini is on deck. Johnson steps, kicks, delivers a 3-1, fouled off. Do it again, although this time with a 3-2 count. Inning started with back-to-back singles from Ian Meyer and Max Price. Derek Cox tied the game at 4 with a 3-run shot. Since then, one more run has scored off the error at short off the bat of Carson Sims. 2 more men in scoring position. A 3-2 count. Ground ball to short. Up with it is the shortstop Cornett. Throw on to first in time. And that's going to keep everybody where they are. Douglas stays at third. Sims remains at second. Sims out, Shively out at first. And it brings up Jacoby Tacchini. And that will do it for Alex Johnson as coach makes his way back out of the dugout, having to make a change here. That means we will step aside here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Henley leads this one 5-4. There's 2 men in scoring position and Tacchini to bat when we come back on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
New pitcher into the game for the Crater Comets. It is the right-hander Tyler Tracy, comes in relief of Alex Johnson. Tracy is a sophomore tasked with trying to get the final out of the bottom of the sixth inning, an inning in which the Hornets have exploded for 4 runs and are flirting with more. They're going to have 2 men in scoring position, Carson Sims at second, Ryan Douglas at third. And again, they've already scored 4. They led off the inning with a single from Ian Meyer. Max Price followed with one of his own, and then Derek Cox with a 3-run homer to, at the time, tie the game at 4. Since then, Chase Barrett walked, Ryan Douglas singled, and Carson Sims put a ball in play, produced an error, and knocked in a run. Connor Shively grounded out, and now Jacoby Tacchini on base with an intentional walk. And so for the second time this inning, welcome to the plate, Ian Meyer. Meyer again, he singled and came in to score his last time up. Here, with the bases loaded and 2 outs, his team up by 1, a chance to bust this game open late. Here's the first pitch. It'll miss out, 1-0. Meyer, aside from that single earlier in the contest, earlier this inning, was 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. By the way, Cam Carpenter coming in to run at first for Jacoby Tacchini. Wind picking up a little bit, temperature dipping below 50, down to 49 degrees right now here at Rosser Field. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, 2-0. On deck, hoping for a second chance this inning for himself, is Max Price. From the windup, here's Tyler Tracy. Meyer takes the 2-0 pitch. I think he was taken all the way on that one, just trying to get Tracy to throw a strike. I don't think the bat ever left Meyer's back shoulder. But now, after that one did get across, Meyer's got to be ready to hit in a 2-1 count. Here it is. Meyer, hard, sharp hit to third, but Snopel gloves it. And the Hornets leave them loaded, but not before taking a lead, helped out by a 3-run homer from Derek Cox. A chance to close it out at the top of the 7th in a 5-4 ball game. Back after this on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Over the last year, you've heard and seen the advertisement for God's Gifts 2, a local photographer who travels to high school sporting events and takes individual and team action photos at a great price. Something you may not know, though, is that the money from God's Gifts Photography supports 6 children in Kenya who Annalisa has met on mission trips. If you'd like to capture your athlete in action and help support these kids, call 541-281-2206. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Top of the 7th inning, the Hornets looking to close out a home win. They carry a 1-run advantage to the top of the 7th, and they've got a new pitcher on the mound. It's Hunter Glidden, the right-hander, comes in relief of Hayden Poore. This season, Glidden making his 5th appearance of the springtime. All of them have been in relief so far. He doesn't have a win or a loss on the season, although this is his first save opportunity of the springtime. He has pitched 7 2/3 innings, given up 5 hits and 1 run. He has struck out 9 against 3 walks, a sub-1 ERA. Looking to record just 3 outs and steal a win from the Crater Comets, who've been leading all game until the bottom of the 6th inning, when Henley tied the game with a Derek Cox homer and took the lead on an error. Glidden trying to hang on. Works mostly out of the stretch. The first pitch from Glidden fouled off. The count is 0-1. Glidden will come in relief of Hayden Poor, who would be the winning pitcher should the lead hold. Poor pitched 3 1/3 innings, gave up 6 hits and 2 runs. He struck out 2 and did not walk a single batter. The 0-1 pitch to Carson Nose misses low, 1-1. It's Nose, Alex Johnson, and Caleb Cornett. That's 3, 4, and 5 in the order. The 1-1. Misses outside, 2-1. Nose so far on the ball game, 0 for 2. He does have an RBI, though, on a sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning. The 2-1 pitch bounces to the plate, 3-1. Glidden just needs to throw some strikes here, try to produce a ground ball or a fly out. Strikeouts look nice, but more than anything, hanging on to a 1-run win against 5A's number 2 team would look a heck of a lot better. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Glidden. That one's hit into the air, right field, bending foul. The count's full. Hamilton still patrolling left. Everyone on defense has stayed the same for Henley this game. Derek Cox at third, Connor Shively at short, Carson Sims at second, Ian Meyer at first. Chase Barrett in left, Ryan Douglas in center, and again Hamilton patrols right. Glidden with a 3-2 offering. Here it comes. Hit into the air, again foul. Count remains 3-2. Wind again blowing out towards left field. If a ball catches a wind stream out there, could be trouble here in the late parts of the ball game. That's where Cox left the yard earlier on today. 3-2 again fouled off. Nose putting up a good fight here in a full count against Hunter Glidden. Alex Johnson waits on deck. The 3-2 from Glidden. Hit out towards right field, down for a base hit. And the tying run on here in the top of the 7th. Brings up Alex Johnson. Johnson 1 for 3 today. He doubled in the first and knocked in a run. Since then, he has grounded out a pair of times. Once to second base, once to first base. Double play in order. The corner is going to come in and protect against a bunt. Middle infield ready to turn 2 against Johnson, who is the pitcher who gave up the lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch to Johnson. Curveball misses low. The count's 1-0. After Alex Johnson in the order, it's Caleb Cornett for the Comets. Here's the 1-0. That is a fine strike. A 2-seam fastball catches the outside corner. Count is 1-1 to Johnson. Runner aboard at first is Carson Nose after the leadoff single. Again, a 5-4 lead for Henley. Nobody out yet, top of the 7th inning. Glidden comes together, makes a move over to first. Doesn't throw, just steps off. Lets Nose know he's aware of him. Johnson settles back in. Straightens up his batting helmet before seeing the 1-1 pitch. It's a knee-high fastball, misses just a bit low. Called a ball, much to the chagrin of all the Hornets fans in attendance today. They don't like that one, hard to blame them. The count is 2-1 to Alex Johnson. Check on the runner at first. Nose leads off the bag. The 2-1 home, misses upstairs, no questions there. The count's 3-1. Glidden got himself into a 3-1 count against Carson Nose, battled it back full, made a couple of good pitches, but Nose eventually just poked one into right field to get aboard. Glidden no stranger to working deep into at-bats, though, is my point. Here's the 3-1. It misses upstairs at a walk, tying run in scoring position, nobody out. Jacoby Tacchini going to go out and have a chat with Glidden. Ian Meyer joins in the fray as well. Today's game on mybasin.com, brought to you in part by Howard's Meat Center, where tradition meets innovation with every cut and every bite of Smokin' H barbecue. As you step through their doors, you're not just entering a meat center, you're stepping back to a time when the quality of the meat and the depth of the customer service were everything. Check out Howard's Meat Center next to Les Schwab Tires, located there on South 6th Street. Also want to give a shout to God's Gifts Photography and Annalisa. If you're a parent of a high school athlete, tired of trying to take good photos and keep up with the action, there's a solution. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Klamath Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search her up on Facebook, God's Gifts 2, to learn more. I think it was Coach Tacchini who came out of the dugout there to have a chat with the pitcher. Nope, that was Craig Connor out of the dugout. Couldn't quite tell. They both got the long jacket and the hat on there, but Coach Connor going out to have a chat with Hunter Glidden, trying to settle him down here. Go ahead, run on base, top of the 7th inning. Caleb Cornett at the dish. Got to be wary of a bunt here, and there's Cornett showing it. Pops it up to the pitcher. It is caught by Glidden. Huge play there. First out recorded in the 7th. Nosey and Johnson both have to stay put. Double play in order for Zach Harrington. He's 2 for 3 today. Doubled in the 2nd, singled in the 3rd, came in to score then. And he also grounded out in the 5th. Infield playing straight away, the outfield doing the same. Glidden comes set with the first offering to the first baseman, Zach Harrington. Curveball, dropped in for a strike. The count is 0-1. Great pitch there from Glidden to get ahead, used the off-speed pitch. See where he goes now on the 0-1. Tacchini gives the signal. Jacoby sets up outside for the 0-1. Line drive, center field, down for a base hit. They are going to keep Nosey at 3rd. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Nosey to 3rd, Johnson to 2nd, Harrington aboard after the single. And here's Jaden Mobley. Nope, they've got a pinch hitter in. Andy Sweet, the junior, going to bat now for the Comets. Sweet getting his first at-bat of the day today. Batting from the left side. See if it's probably one of the driving factors to make this decision at such a pivotal part of the ball game. Top of the 7th, bases loaded. The Hornets lead by 1. Andy Sweet, his first at-bat of the day. Wide batting stance from the left side. Here's the pitch from Glidden. Misses down and in. 1-0. Avoiding the walk here is paramount with the tying run at 3rd. Oren Ging on deck for the Comets. 1 away, top of the 7th inning. Pitch from Glidden. This is in, 2-0. Mobley exits the game, by the way, after going 1 for 3. He struck out twice and singled once, knocked in a run in the 3rd inning. But they like the matchup with Andy Sweet at the dish. Glidden needing to find the zone here on a 2-0 pitch. Finds the zone, fly ball, center field. That's going to get down. It'll be extra bases, and the Comets should take the lead. Nosey scores. They're waving Johnson in to score. The throw is in late, but another runner is going to be out. They're going to send Harrington. He is out at the dish. The Comets score 2 runs, take the lead. They're up 6-5, and a 2 RBI double for Andy Sweet gives the Comets back the lead. Here's Oren Ging stepping up now for the Comets. He's 1 for 2 today. Struck out in the 2nd, grounded out in the 6th. But he did add an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Crater now up 6-5 against the Hornets. Runner in scoring position is Andy Sweet. They keep him out there. Glidden looking to get out of this frame. Here's the pitch. That one misses low. 1-0 the count. Again, 2 outs after Harrington was thrown out trying to score. Here's the 1-0 home. Curveball catches the zone. Nice pitch there from Glidden to get things back even. A ball and a strike to the Comets catcher. Glidden ready to go again. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Big cut there, but comes up empty from Ging. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. If you're curious for Henley, who's due up in the next half inning, it is Max Price to lead things off next. Here's the 1-2. Curveball misses low. Count is 2-2. Across the 2-hour mark in this one. So we've reached 7 o'clock here, local time here in the Klamath Basin. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. The pitch from Glidden looked at for ball 3. Again, Ronix Keyser on deck for the Comets. Takini delivering the sign. Glidden comes set. Here's the pitch. Hit into the air, right center field. Corbin Hamilton moving over. He will make the catch to end the inning. But the Comets score 2 on a 2 RBI double from Andy Sweet. They now lead 6-5 as we go to the last of the 7th next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
Looking for insurance from someone who truly understands rural Klamath? Meet Gabby Haskins, a licensed agent for Country Financial, born and raised in Merrill, with deep roots in agriculture and the local way of life. Whether you're protecting your family farm, homes, vehicles, businesses, Gabby's here to help. She offers trusted, personalized insurance for farm, life, home, auto, commercial, and retirement needs at Gary Sheen's Country Financial office in Merrill. Stop by today and see why Merrill residents trust one of their own. Country Financial, here to help you experience more in Merrill.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you're aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Bottom of the 7th, and the Hornets trail by 1, a score of 6-5 against the Crater Comets. Due up this half for Henley, Max Price, Derek Cox, and Corbin Hamilton. That's 5, 6, and 7 in the order. As Tyler Tracy still on the mound for the Comets. Henley scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th inning to, at the time, take a 5-4 advantage, but the Comets plating 2 in the top half of the 7th to find themselves up in front by a single run. First pitch to Max Price, taken outside. The count is 1-0. Price on the ball game today, 1 for 2. Struck out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, but he singled and scored in that pivotal 6th inning. The 1-0 pitch to Price finds the zone outside, maybe a touch off the plate, but in the zone. The count 1-1. Derek Cox due up next. 1-1 pitch in. Swung on and missed by Price. Count is a ball and 2 strikes. Tracy finds himself in a position to be the winning pitcher on this one should he hang on to the lead. Here's the 1-2 in. Curveball swung on and missed. Price goes down on strikes for the first out in the 7th inning. Brings up Derek Cox. He was the hero once. Can he do it again in the 6th? Cox hit a 3-run homer in the 6th inning. He also singled in the 4th, and he flew out in the 2nd. Cox awaits the pitch. That one misses outside, 1-0. Derek, sophomore season, played a ton of varsity last year. Bats .250 to start this season. has got 4 extra base hits on the spring so far. He takes one outside, 2-0. That's including the home run he hit earlier today. Otherwise, 1 triple and 2 doubles on the season for him. Slugging .450, 10 games into the season. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's hit to center field. Moving over is the center fielder, Nose. And a routine catch made out in center for the second out in the 7th inning. Corbin Hamilton, the last out for Henley, or he represents the last out, I should say. So far today, 0 for 3. He flew out in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th, and struck out in the 6th inning. Hamilton bats .462 on the season, second on the team in hits, second on the team in RBI as well. He takes ball 1. Chase Barrett on deck. Hamilton ahead in the count, 1-0. The pitch here to Corbin. Checks his swing. Called a strike anyway. Looked like there was a little bit of a wrinkle in that pitch from Tracy. Looked like it might have been a slider. Catches the outside corner. Count is 1-1 to Hamilton. Relaxed as ever in the right-handed batter's box. The pitch looked at and it misses low. 2-1. Hamilton started this game on the mound for Henley. Has since played in right field. The 2-1 home, ground ball left side, this could do it. Cornett up with it, throw on to first is in time. The Crater Comets come to Rosser Field and defeat the Henley Hornets 6-5. We'll be back to break this one down for you coming up in 2 minutes time on 104.3, 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Hi, I'm Jill with Klamath Falls Honda. If you live in Southern Oregon, you know the weather can keep you guessing. 1 minute it can be sunny, and the next, something like this. That's why vehicles like the Honda Ridgeline just make sense. With available all-wheel drive and the capability to handle whatever rolls in, you're ready for it. And customers like Rob are ready too.
Couldn't have picked a better day.
So whether it's sunshine or snow, stop by and say hi. We'll keep you safe on the road.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
Final score today from Henley High School: Crater Comets 6, the Henley Hornets 5. Final line scores for the victors: 6 runs on 13 hits today for Crater. They did commit 1 error. They left 7 runners on base today. For Henley, 5 runs on 8 hits. They committed no errors. They left 8 runners on base today. The winning pitcher for the Comets is Tyler Tracy. He worked 1 1/3 innings in relief, did not give up a hit or a run. He did walk 1, and he struck out 1 as well. The losing pitcher today for the Hornets, Hunter Glidden, who pitched 1 inning, giving up 3 hits and 2 runs, each of them earned, and he walked 1 batter. Couple notables today for Henley. Want to highlight the performance for Derek Cox today. Finished 2 for 4 with a home run this afternoon, the first of his high school career. It finished with 3 RBIs and a run scored. Also adding RBI today for Henley was Jacoby Tacchini on a 2 for 3 day with an RBI. Jacoby Tacchini's one of his hits today was also a double. For Crater, a couple of notables for them. Austin was 2 for 4 today. Let's see, Carson Nose was 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Zach Harrington 3 for 4 with a run scored and a double today. Final score is 6-5. With this win today, Crater on the season will improve to 11-2. For the Hornets, they fall to 8-2. Next time out for Henley, it'll be on the road on Friday up at Junction City, a 2 o'clock doubleheader. We'll be on the call for you there right here on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Once again, want to thank everybody involved in making today's broadcast possible, both head coaches, Sean Teeters for the Henley Hornets and Jay Campbell for the Crater Comets. Also want to thank our official scorer today, Rob Sims, and everyone else who tuned in to today's broadcast on mybasin.com. Once again, we'll be back Friday afternoon as the Hornets take on one of 4A's best teams, the Junction City Tigers. But until then, thank you again for joining us today. 6-5 the final score. The Comets defeat the Hornets. My name is Josh Eldridge. Have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. So long and good night from Rosser Field at Henley High School.